Guys, welcome back. As you can see, we have the bike up on the lift. It's actually been on the lift for quite some time. Um, Actually, we've been here for 7 months now, and I haven't even touched it. So, bike's back on the lift. We did a little bit of work to it today. I got the wiring situation all taken care of on the back end. We're going to come in and take a look at that in a minute here. I got the compressor mounted. The new compressor is mounted on the other side of the fender instead of on the inside of the bag, how I originally mounted it. Just so that way I don't have to worry about disconnecting the air when anytime that I want to take the bag off and I go to clean it or anything like that. That's really the only reason that I did it. Not that that's even really that big of an issue for me anyways, because it's going to be aired out if I have to take the bags off for whatever reason anyways. But it's whatever. I just kind of figured that might be a little bit better idea. So I moved that. I got all the wiring reran. I have the new switch up. I'm waiting for a bigger, clear heat shrink to go over the steel braided line covering. Once that gets in, we're going to put that on. I'm going to get that ran and get that wired up so the switch will then air it up and lay it out at the same time. Not at the same time because that would be silly and counterproductive. So it has two buttons on it. One will air it up, the other one will dump it and lay it out. And then I will be doing the same setup on the other side for the center stand as soon as I get the center stand. So that way I can use the button to kick the center stand down, and then as soon as I lift it up, I can bring the center stand back up. So it'll be nice for me anyways to have that up on the bars. I think that's going to be a good thing. As soon as I get done finishing up the little bit that I'm doing here, I got it so it'll hold air now. The old compressor that I got, the connector was crap, and when I put the air line into it, no matter what I did, how many times I trimmed it, tried to clean the edges up, everything, push the connect fitting because it is a small airline, which push connect fittings suck, but they can be really good at sometimes as well, but they are known to fail. So I'm going to leave them on for right now while I'm trying to get everything else mocked up. I have to put a drain pan underneath of it now and drain the oil and separate the engine and the transmission so I can change the high flow water pump out, finish putting the high flow water pump in, I should say, because I can't get the rod out that goes into the rung gear on the inside of the engine case. And I need to change that up because I feel like it's bent just a little bit. So I don't want to leave that one in. I want to put the new one in with the high pressure oil pump. We're going to get that done, and then we're going to put the cams in, adjustable push rod. We got all new parts to put inside for, to go along with the cam. We did a carburetor upgrade on it already. That's all rejetted, and we might have to do a final adjustment on that when we get it running again, but that's minor details. We did get an air cleaner for it, so we will be putting that on. And I might put, I have a solo seat for it that I kind of want to try out, so we're going to try putting that on and see what that looks like as well. That might not be a permanent thing, and maybe it's a once in a while thing, or I might not like it and it might not go or stay on, period. So that's where we are with things currently with what we have. I do want to be doing more here soon. Excuse me, I would like to get the front tire and wheel for it, get the 23 on it, so I can get the fender on it, and then kind of get everything prepped and ready for paint. But that's, I'm not worried about that quite yet because I got to get it done. So first and foremost, we're getting running. It's not going to be in this video because I'm just kind of doing a rundown right now on what's going on. Obviously, I haven't posted a video forever. I have footage recorded from working on the other bike over there. A few other things as well that just never got uploaded for whatever reason. So I might try and go through all of that footage and put together a couple of more videos here in the near future. But for right now, we're getting back into the bikes. Once I get a couple of more things done on this one, we will be jumping into the other one, and we got a whole lot that's going on that one. We will be doing some shop updates in the shop. The shop is currently kind of a mess. I've been going through and doing a little bit of reorganizing, but there's still a lot that needs to be done. It's kind of been just a collect all for a little bit here now. So we got to reorganize. We got partial snap to connect floor. We don't have all of the flooring yet. We are getting more. Currently it's all blue. That's going to change. I don't want it to be all blue because I'm going to be upgrading my toolbox selection as well. That's not going to happen very soon, but that will be in the near future. This whole thing is going to end up out there because we are going to extend that out to the end of the concrete over there. So we basically will be doubling the size of our shop. The ceiling is only going to be 8 foot over there, which is about what we are right here, so it should be just fine. We're going to be doing all fabrication and stuff over there, like assembly stuff here. Somewhere, I don't think I'm set on where I want to put my paint booth up at yet. So that might actually be changing. It might go out there as well. Have paint booth and fabrication out there, and then we can do assembly and stuff like that up here because then I can move the bike lifts over and then be able to bring a vehicle up in here for assembly stuff if needed. Vehicle assembly can happen out where fabrication is as well. So that's the kind of the plan for right now. That's kind of where we're at. We're going to get the compressor finally wired up here soon, get lines ran for that. We're going to get new lighting for in here, for above the bikes especially. And then again, like I said, if this moves over to there, this can stay here for assembly of vehicles, and then we'll do another set of lighting over there. We're going to change the walls up, clean everything up, make it look nice in here. The flooring and the toolbox selection will match. This blue will be staying, but there will be additional that's going to go with the blue that will match with what we're going to do for the toolbox selection. That's going to be great when we do that. We try and get the best deal I can at Harbor Freight because, spoiler alert, it is going to be the Series 3 toolbox kit that they just released. But with doing that, then I can move this stuff out into the fabrication area and have clean assembly style tools in here, and then fabrication, dirty, grimy, beat up, not tools that we don't have to worry about out there. So that way I can have a nice set for working on stuff that stays clean and organized and all that, and another set. But I don't care if I gotta take a grinder to it and thin it for a fitment on something or anything along those natures. Maybe I got to weld up my own extension or crazy goofy, socket cutout, whatever it is. Those tools will stay out there for that specific stuff. So that's the current update. This is where we're at with the bike. We'll take a walk around and kind of look at things. It is filthy because, as I said, it's been sitting. That's fine because it's getting torn apart. So let's take a look. Alright, so as I mentioned, we were over here doing some wiring stuff. So we put these 2 bus bars in. We got a positive and a ground. They have these little covers that go over them. I gotta tie everything up yet and get everything all, looking nice and pretty, but we just wanted to get it assembled for right now and get things kind of ran where they were going to go, so that way we could figure out exactly what needed to be what and where wires were going, etc. And I needed to get the compressor wired up, the new compressor wired up and in a position so I could air it up, so I could, drain the oil out of the bottom. I do have the lift underneath of it, but it was aired out. And there was no room to even get the jack underneath of it. So, yeah, that's where we had to start with. So we got that. It is aired up. It's not lifted all the way up. I do have straps right here to hold it, so it can only go up so high. But then we come over here and we got the compressor mounted right up here onto the fender. I think that's going to be all right. I got to adjust just a little bit. It needs to go forward just a hair, but that's going to be okay. And then over here, cam's out. I got to get the rest of that inner bearing out. That inner bearing fell apart. That's obviously no good, but it's okay because we're getting taken care of. All the bolts, everything is loose. I just have to separate now the engine from the transmission on the primary side. I got to pull that all apart, and in order to do that I need to drain the oil so I don't make a mess all over the table or the lift. So that's where we are. This old girl is finally going to get some love. And then as soon as we're done on this one, we're jumping over here, and we got a whole lot going on with that one. That one's tore down pretty far right now. We got to finish some mock-up on the back end, and then we're going to do a pre-assemble. We're going to do a full paint job, everything on that one. So stay tuned for that. But that's where we are. I just wanted to give you an update. Let's see, that is right here, the switch I was telling you about, up and down. So this will lift it and lower it. We're going to have another one of those over on that side right here for the center stand. So we'll get the clear heat shrink over the top of this to protect it. And then I can get this ran up into the fender or fairing and down and back, and then get the wiring buttoned up on that. So that's done. Yeah, just trying to knock out little bits here and there as we can. Organizing the shop, trying to get the bed frame over there painted. Just trying to get some things knocked out right now while we can. So stay tuned, and we'll keep bringing you along. If you haven't, like and subscribe to the channel, please. Alright, so that's a little walk around on what's going on currently. Nothing crazy, but we gotta get started. It's been sitting here for way too long. It's almost like depression sometimes, right, when you don't get to ride the bike. But it's alright though. We had to take care of some other things first. And this has just been on hold while I've been trying to get other things all taken care of. But it's time. We're going to get her going again. She needs to be back out on the road. I need to be back out on the road with her. So we're going to get her buttoned up and get her going again. And we're going to do a paint job. So I will, I don't even know I don't think the helmet footage ever got released, so you probably haven't seen that. I think there a little bit of it was, but not the finished product. I'll insert a picture of that here. And then that's kind of, not to that extreme with the gold, but that's kind of where we're going to go with this paint job. I have pretty good vision, I think. I believe you guys will like it as well. Probably won't be everybody's flavor, obviously, but it's going to be subtle enough that it should look very clean for most anybody. But we'll see what happens when it gets done. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Um, I know I've been absent for a very long time, and that's on me. You know, life was kind of been all over the place for the last little while, and we're going to get back into things. So um, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Appreciate all the feedback. We'll catch you in the next one, all right? See ya. Alright, so we have picked back up out here a couple of days later. I did a whole bunch of reorganizing around in the garage to try and just kind of be a little bit more functionable for right now until we get the additions taken care of. So, as you saw earlier already, I moved the compressor onto the rear fender from where this compressor was going on the inside of the bag. I'm going to disconnect this compressor. It's crap anyways. It would not air up the bike. It just ran and 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 ran, and it would build up enough pressure inside. It's just a cheap Chinese compressor, so I'm not worried about it. The one I put on it is a Bayer, and that's a very good brand compressor. I used to run those. I actually still have some for mini trucks for a very long time, and never had any issues, you know, as long as you keep up on your maintenance and all that. So I put the Bayer on there, taking the Chinese compressor off. I need to take the rubber mount off of here and put onto the Bayer compressor, because that's just hard mounted right now into the fender, so there's a little added vibration going on. It makes a little bit of extra noise. It's still going to vibrate because it's not solid across at the position where I mounted it. There is the notch out in the fender, so it will still vibrate a little bit, but at least we can dampen some of that with this rubber bushing that goes in between. So we'll get that taken out and check it out and see what it looks like. Alexa, play. Alexa, play. Alexa, play. So, as you can see, we got the cheap Chinese compressor out. Super quick and easy process. There's only 4 bolts holding it in. The power wire, ground wire coming to it that I had already wired up. I just snipped close. I left a little bit on here in case I do want to try and mess with this thing and do anything with it or not. So I can add wires back into it if I ever need to. But I wanted to leave the wiring in here currently at the full length this will now be utilized for the speaker lid speaker that's going in here. So I knew regardless I was going to have speaker wires coming in here, even if I did not like this. I did not install the speakers yet, so it's kind of a trial and error type deal. It didn't bother me having the compressor on here, but it is more of an inconvenience. You have to take the bags off, which when I clean my bike, I like to completely strip my bike and really get into cleaning it. Even my mid washes and stuff, I try to at least take the bags off. I take the tour pack off if I have the tour pack on, and take the seat off, and I clean everything as much as possible, because if you keep it clean, it's easier to work on, and it looks better. Shows and everything, but I do like my stuff to look good when I am riding it around. If I go to a bike night or anything like that, I personally just like my stuff to be clean. So this will make that a little bit easier now. I just have to disconnect this for the power going into the speaker, and it'll come right off. I don't have to worry about disconnecting the airline, even though it was a simple push connect fitting, but the push connect fitting, while it was on there, on here, also leaked, no matter what I tried to do to that. So it is what it is. So we'll take a look real quick and see what we got. We're going to have some holes that we have to plug up. That's no big deal. This is just in primer. It's not final paint anyways. And I told myself that if I didn't like the compressor on there, it was not going to be that big of a deal to plug the holes up and have it all smooth back out with no water leak issues when it does come time to actually go with the paint. So check it out. So you can see where the compressor was mounted, and then the bottom hole down there, the most bottom hole, was where the power wires ran in. Not that big of an issue, as I said. We want to keep as much of this as possible, because we're going to want to try and, let's get you up in here. We're going to want to try and keep as much of this as possible, because this is going to try and get tucked now down and along and around and up and into the speaker, like so, right? So that's the reasoning behind that. Should be all right. I think there's just enough there. These speakers will be ran off of an amp. I will be putting an amp behind the fairing. Actually, it'll probably be 2 amps behind the fairing, so I can run. I might be able to actually get away with just one 4-channel. We'll see. It depends on if I want to run, because I think I'm going to run speakers in the leg warmers, or the leg guards. So we'll see about that, though. I'm not positive. I kind of like having a little bit of extra storage down there as well. Final product on what this comes out like is, I guess you never really know until it's done, but then again, it's never really done until it's sold. So we'll see what happens. We're going to get into more work on the engine and get that separated, so that way we can get in and get the new cam in. You can see in here that, come on, there's still part of the original bearing race, which is not good, but I got the tools here. The homie Yeda was generous and ordered a removal kit for me. That was super awesome, so thank you for that. But we're gonna get that inside there and try and see if we can't get that out of there. Then we're gonna change the shaft out down here, which you can't really see. It's right down here, for the high pressure oil pump, and that's why we need to take the motor out, because I can't get that shaft out when the transmission's still connected here. So that's what we're getting into next.